Again, right now, Coyotes 28, Lobos 20 with only 10 seconds to play. Clay, let's send it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Eddie. And we look there and we see behind you that La Jolla has just intercepted the ball and ended the game. So La Jolla wins it 28-20 over Palmview. That is how we found out that La Jolla had beaten Palmview live on the air last week when they intercepted Palmview's last gasp effort. Irvin Garcia to Victor De Hoyos there for the comeback win for La Jolla as they were down to Palmview at the half and just came back strong, ends up beating Palmview for the first time in 7 years, for the first time since the year after the La Jolla split. Greg, you cover this district. Is this something we expected to see La Jolla basically in line to go ahead and become the second place team in District 36A?
For me, not at all. I mean, this year they've barely gotten by Donna North, and then they lost 3 games convincingly, albeit against good teams. But to see them come back and beat McAllen High and Palmview in consecutive weeks, 2 projected playoff teams in this district, says a real lot about them, and they have a great shot to finish second right now. Yeah, they do have a great shot to finish second. As a matter of fact, they will be they'll be favored in their last 3 games. The toughest of which will probably be at McAllen Road. Joe, Coyotes looking better than they have in a long time.
Yeah, and I like what they've done is a lot of teams will tank it in and give it up once they've lost those tough games early on, but they haven't. They set their sights, and now, look out Row, because when they get there, they're going to be on a high level. And so look out, that road game may be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it could be a lot of fun. But we mentioned that La Jolla on track to finish second in that district. That is, of course, behind McAllen Memorial, who came up with a big win. Let's look at the District 36A standings real quick. And you see La Jolla in second place behind the Mustangs, tied for second with Mac High. But don't forget, La Jolla has already beaten Mac High. So, the Coyotes have the advantage there. Palmview 1-1, Row 1-2, and La Jolla's final 3 games, Mission, Row, and Juarez Lincoln. Maybe that Mission defense could do something against the Coyotes, but Palmview's was not able to. Let's talk about McAllen Memorial and what they're able to do with Trevor Spates this last week. Big game for Trevor on a Thursday night as they took on the Juarez Lincoln Huskies. Once again, Juarez Lincoln looks strong, looks sturdy in that first quarter, but man, they just have too many guys playing both ways. But Trevor Spates, he is a man among boys. 5 touchdowns for him, over 220 yards. Let's look and see where Trevor is now on the all-time rushing list for the state of Texas. As you see, he is in 5th place right now, behind Wes Danaher of Cal Allen, and with his next game, most likely with over 250 yards, he will go into 4th place all by himself. Catching 3rd place, Traylon Shedd, that's probably not going to happen. That is a long way to go, another almost 2,000 yards, but Trevor Spates now in 5th place all time. Greg, history in the making. Trevor keeps it going, and now he gets to make his college visits because he had a Thursday game, and now he's got a bye week, so now he gets to go to Texas A&M, see Texas A&M play Alabama, visit with Tennessee, with Stanford, any of the places that have been giving him. Oklahoma just gave him a list. He's having a great season, and he's having fun doing it.
Right, and one of the things that really jumped out to me about this Juarez Lincoln game was I talked to Coach Bill Littleton after the game, and he said that they threw all 11 guys at Trevor and really limited him in this game. And so this is how you define limited for Trevor Spates, right? 220 yards and 5 touchdowns. So not a bad season for him at all. I think we can see some big things. Especially if they get a couple playoff games under their belt, he can really rack up some more totals and come after some single-season records, too.
Yeah, the single-season record, of course, 3,330 yards set by Meshach Rivas of Weslaco. Joe, can he get that? He's going to have to go deep in the playoffs.
He'll have to go deep in the playoffs, and they're going to have to be some close games in the playoffs that he's not resting because, again, he's resting big chunks of times in these football games. And yeah, it was funny as you were going down that list. You were kind of ho-hum if he gets 250 yards this week,
Right.
As if, that's not ho-hum stuff, Bucks. That's big stuff.
That is big stuff. Hey, real quick, want to talk about Mac High and their big game against Row. 43-40 was the final. Mac High was able to get the win after Row had a furious comeback. Greg, you were at this game. Your thoughts real quick on Mac High, the comeback, their running back Josh McGowan, and what this game was like overall.
Yeah, Josh McGowan had a huge night for them. 271 yards officially is the 3rd best game in Mac High history, so that's a really impressive performance given their long history.
Yes.
And instead of just relying on him, which has been a trend for the offense a lot of times this year, they got a touchdown on a fumble return, they got a touchdown on a kickoff return from Gunnar Henderson, and they got a touchdown out of the Wildcat with Ruben Gutierrez. So they're trying to find other ways to complement him. Maybe they can get some things going in the second half after a slow start to district.
All right, well, we will see what Mac High can do, but up next on Sunday Sports Extra, we're going to talk about District 31 5A. We're going to talk about who's the next man up for Mission Veterans with a quarterback injured, and what's happening with Edinburgh Vela. Are they about to go undefeated? Well, they got rid of another undefeated team this past week. It's all when we come back.